I mean, I like nasturtiums, I like eating nasturtiums, but that's just a little bit too much for anybody. I'm not even sure if you can preserve nasturtium leaves. I'll have to look into that. And I did, and you can, and here's what I've come up with. A vinegar, salt, powdered, and a pesto. I'm not going to go into all the ingredients now, I'll just do it as the video progresses. But this is all I use really across the 4 things: oil, vinegar, garlic, nasturtium leaves, nasturtium flowers, some salt and some pine nuts. Okay then, let's kick off with the Nasturtium salt. What we need to do with this is dry the leaves, and I'm using my Ninja air fryer for this. It's got a dehydrate setting, so all I did was set that on to 3 hours at 70 Celsius. Now what I'm doing here is I'm breaking the stalks off because I made some of this a couple of days ago, to be fair, and I found that the stalks, even though they taste peppery, they took nearly twice as long to dry out as the leaves, and they don't really give a lot of volume to the dried leaves. So take your time and snap them off. And the good thing about doing this as well is you can have a quick check for any pests. Maybe it's the time of year, but in the 3 carrier bags that I've processed in the last couple of days, I've only found 1 pest, and there it is, a little yellow thing. Oh, I tell a lie, there was a tiny snail as well. And that's it, it's amazing. Must be about 3 kilograms of leaves altogether. So what I'm doing with the second lot, I'm just going to show you, I didn't break the stalks off and they took a bit longer to dry. So this, the one on the left has got stalks left on. Into the air fryer, like I said, 3 hours, and here they are 45 minutes later. Here's the drawer with the stems removed, and the drawer with the stems attached, and it's hard to tell, but they're a bit wetter still. All done in 3 hours. It didn't look a lot when I pulled the drawers out, but a lot of the pieces had fallen under the crisper plate. Of course you could do this with a dehydrator, but I think it would take quite a while. Another way to dry the leaves out would be to put them in an oven on a baking sheet, but do be careful with a fan assisted oven, because once they dry out they're very light and they blow everywhere. All I'm doing now is pushing the dried leaves through a coarse colander really. You can pop the dried leaves into a food processor or a blender, but this only took 2 or 3 minutes. Get your hands in there, give them a good scrunch up and push them through. I ended up with a mix of a flaky powder, shall we say. I saved some of this into a shaker jar, only a couple of spoonfuls, and I'll be using that to sprinkle onto food, a bit like my tomato powder. Top on and labelled. Right, back to the salt. Now this is one of those again that I looked on the internet, and there's quite a few different variations on how much salt to use. So I played around with it a bit, and I found that the best for me was 1 part of nasturtium leaf powder to 3 parts of salt. And that is by weight, so 10 grams of nasturtium powder to 30 grams of salt. And get the 2 parts mixed together. You kind of lose sight of the salt as it mixes in, but the green's getting a little bit paler. Decant it into the vessel of your choice. I'm using these little shaker jars again, they're quite handy. The plastic top's got 2 choices. You can either shake it like salt or open the flap and pour it onto a measuring spoon for cooking. And of course, on with the labels. Okay then, a bit of a confession here. I started this one 2 days before. All I'm using here is a Kilner type jar, crammed full of nasturtium flowers and a couple of leaves, and one chopped up clove of garlic. And you can see what a lovely colour it's turned already. The more petals you get in, the more flowers you get in, the deeper the orangey red colour it will be. I had a mix of flowers actually. Some were quite scarlet, some were orange and some were yellow. If you don't have enough flowers, then by all means bulk it up with some leaves. It won't add to the colour, but it will certainly add to the pepperiness of the vinegar. Get the flowers and the leaves submerged. It can be a bit hard to get the leaves to soak up the liquid, so we need to put a weight on top really. The leaves are, I think it's anhydrous is the word. They repel the vinegar to start off with, just like they do with the raindrops. You can just see this when I freeze frame it in a second. 2 seconds, 2 seconds. There, see how the leaf's bone dry even though it's been under the vinegar? Only lasts for a day or so, then it soaks it all up properly. And just set it aside somewhere. I left mine for 4 days. I'm not sure if it would have got any deeper colour if I'd left it longer. Maybe next year we'll try. And here it is after the 4 days. Pour it through a fine sieve. I was thinking I may need to pour it through a muslin cloth as well, but there were no bits in it, so I was lucky, I suppose. Try not to spill it. Look at that colour. Even the garlic on the left-hand side there has taken on a bit of colour. No need to squash the flowers down. Nothing else came out of them. A quick taste test. I don't know why I did this really, because there's not much I could have done to adjust the flavour afterwards. It's a peppery vinegar. Into the sterilised bottles of your choice. And this will keep for, well, as long as vinegar does, I suppose, a year at least. And don't forget to label it. Look at that colour, isn't it gorgeous? Here we go with the pesto then, and I've kept this one very simple. Some of the recipes out there on the internet, they've got so many ingredients in them that there's virtually no nasturtium. So what I'm doing is roughly 2 parts by weight of nasturtium leaves to 1 part of pine nuts. And we're going to toast the pine nuts till they're just turning brown. And what I'm adding as well is a couple of cloves of garlic. And these are being just sliced a little bit because it's all going to get blitzed down in a minute anyway. And another thing I'm doing is adding a few sprigs of basil leaves just to give it an aroma. Now it's not the taste, it's the aroma. It just takes the edge off the nasturtium smell a little bit. Once the pine nuts are toasted, into the food processor with them. This is my Ninja one again. Gotta watch those blades, they are sharp. In with about 50 ml of olive oil. I'm using extra virgin for this one. In with the basil leaves. In with the garlic. And a bit of salt to taste. I used about half a teaspoon. And in with the nasturtium leaves. A bit of a fight, but they went in. And blitz it all down. The bowl of the processor needed scraping down a few times because the mix was stuck to the outside. That was alright, and it was a little bit thick, the mix, so I loosened it up with another drop of olive oil. So I probably used about 75 ml in the end. Yeah, another tablespoon going in there, look. And here we are, all done. Blitz it down as fine as you like. Spoon it into the sterilised jars of your choice. I use 190 ml jars for this. I think they're called half-pound jars as well. Poke it down in the jar a bit, just so you get as much in as you can. And we're trying to remove the air pockets. Wipe the neck of the jar down and Put a layer of olive oil on top. This just keeps the surface fresh. And guess what? On with the labels. A quick taste test before we finish up. Very pesto-y, very nasturtium-y, very peppery, very, very nice. That'll do for me. To finish up with then, here are the recipes with the ingredients and method. Don't pay too much attention to the quantities. It really is a case of play it by ear. Well, certainly something different with this one. New to me anyway. Hope you enjoyed this one and I hope you give them a go. Look after yourselves guys, take care, and I will catch you on the next video.